Greetings and blessings. I am Lord MAITREYA, and here I welcome you to these spaces of learning. For each aspect of life is about learning to be greater, learning to make decisions more fully, learning to understand your life greater, learning to understand you and the universal place, learning to love oneself greater, for all is about falling in love with thyself. It is important to consider all these thoughts, our dear friends. But now it is time to switch onto the higher thoughts of the universal flows and higher ways and higher meanings. It is always so, you can only choose two sides, really. Being in the situation of the lower self and growing into the higher self. The higher self lives on a very high vibrational frequency. To reach the living of the higher self, as it were, the dimensional aspect, takes a lot of growth from your being. However, it is not the result that is so important as the journey towards the growth. For the journey towards the growth, towards becoming the higher self constantly, is much more important than reaching that goal. For it means that you are evolving. And evolving upwards is a growth and a progression towards a higher destination. Each time you grow higher, you reach a higher aspect of your being. Your being lives on many dimensions. Each dimension has lessons for you. So imagine if you had many dimensional aspects of your being, and each time you evolve up higher into your higher self, you reach a higher layer of your higher being. And then your higher being shows you higher paths of those different ways and dimensions which you have reached. This is the way of your evolution. You never stand still, though you may believe you're standing still. Each moment is to be loved. Each moment is to be recognized as progression forward. When you do not like a moment, then please switch into the understanding of the learning experiences for that moment. Well, this is how you grow. Too many people upon your plane believe in those programs or understandings of those lower thoughts. And they stay in there only for lifetimes, maybe thousands of lifetimes, hundreds of lifetimes, until they begin to understand that the growth upwards is where they must go. Many people are in cycles of pain and frustration, and then they seek help and understand that the spiritual path is the wise path. It's a wise path of guidance. So how can you ascend faster than to your higher aspects? By understanding that each moment has a value for you. Even the painful aspects of your life has value. You must never stay upset or angry longer than a few moments. However, you as a human being do not always understand that. So you may carry this anger for many months and years, and if you do not learn, then you will take your anger with you in your next lifetime, until you begin to learn that each learning experience is very important for your evolution. When you understand that, you may call it a learning, awakening experience. So it would be very wise then, in those times, to note down all what you are learning and all what you are experiencing as well, and then asking a higher path to be received. By staying clear of your pain, you can tune in to your higher path. Most people can do this, as long as you stay in the presence of that moment, and as long as you stay in a prayerful heart. For your guides will always show you the higher path when you allow that guidance to be shown to you. But you must remove yourself from your anger and your attachment to the pain, for many are attached to the pain. They say they are not, but healing can be a frightful experience for so many. For then you feel you are let go and that no one will care about you. For many of those who are attached to the pain are so connected to those around them who constantly try and help them. What if they were suddenly healed and no one would pay that attention to them? This is where your strength comes into. So please note down this thought. What would happen if your path was healed? Would you be able to cope with that? Would you be able to be strong enough to connect to your stronger self-identity? For this keeps many people in the lower victim consciousness, as it were, in the lower suffering. We say to you, learn to rely on your guides. For your guides see what you need every day. They will not let you go. So instead of leaning upon the people, learn to lean upon your guides. For your spirit guides know everything about you much more than the people. They know when you need company. They know when you need a tip. So let it come to you. Stay clear and focused on what it is that you decide you want so much in your life. Begin to relate to your spirit guide as friends rather than as strangers. So many people are so afraid of their spirit guides. We are here to help you understand that your spirit guides are very friendly. If you follow this advice alone, you are able to progress constantly to your higher paths. What would you like your higher path to be? What would you like your life to be? So many people don't want the higher path either. So we ask you to release your higher path thoughts by going back within your lower path, releasing your lower path thoughts, and then go back into your higher path. Why? Because at times other people are too attached to their higher path, and all they think about is their perfect life, and then they don't reach their higher path either, because they're too attached to their perfect way of living. So you must learn to release that thought too. Go back to your lower path, and where you are in at this time, if you wish to progress upwards, learn to release your lower path by forgiving it, and then slowly climb into the higher path. By being flexible about what it is that you desire your life to be, it will come much more faster to you. Learn to understand that your guides know exactly what your higher path is. In doing so, your evolution towards rising into your higher self will become much easier, as your fight will become much less. So many spiritual people are attached to their exactness of being in their higher self, which is very difficult. So release that thought. Allow yourself to become flexible and learn to love all your paths, your lower self and your higher self. Do not fear the path of your lower self, for that stops you from growing into your higher self. Learn to understand that each aspect of your being is perfect, but do not be attached too much to the lower self ideas or the higher self ideas. Allow yourself to be human, for human is a beautiful experience. So please understand that this lesson is about your progression forward. Learn to love all things in your life and learn to understand that each lesson is very vital for your higher lessons, so that you grow from your fear into your love flows by accepting your fear, learning to love it, and then overcoming it with your love to overcome the lower self patterns, to step into your higher self, beautiful self. And that, friends, I do say as Lord Maitreya, is a lot of learning for your being. I ask you, since this is a beautiful channeled message that will go up on YouTube, to repeat this lesson by listening to it again, and then by slowing everything down and writing down main points and seeing how each point benefits you in your higher way, and then you too will understand how to grow more quickly into your evolution processes. Until next time, I'll give you blessings and greetings. I am Lord Maitreya, or I also say the Maitreya greetings.
Greetings.